Welcome to Geek Fandom Media. I'm your host, Chris, and you guys, we got so many topics to talk about in today's video. It's exciting, but it is 4th of July weekend. Hopefully you guys are taking some time off, relaxing, spending time with your family, going to go see Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm seeing it on Saturday. I cannot wait. I'm taking my son to see some fireworks tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys are just taking time for yourselves because your well-being is important. So you guys, what topics are we going to be talking about in today's video? Well, Neil Druckmann and another creative writer for The Last of Us have officially departed for season 3. We'll talk about that. Marvel Studios did the thing. Mephisto has now been introduced into the MCU in the last couple of episodes of Ironheart. We're going to be talking about that. And big studio names like Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, Disney are all skipping out on their panels, their film panels, that is, for this year's Comic-Con. Is Comic-Con officially dead? Is that a wrap? Is DC fandom coming back? I doubt that. Maybe, these studios just don't have anything to show right now, and, they're waiting for next year's Comic-Con to make these big, massive reveals and announcements. Their next 10-year plan. Marvel Studios should never do that again. But let's talk about the meat and the potatoes, right? Ironheart. I thoroughly enjoyed Ironheart. It's only 6 episodes. All 6 episodes are on Disney+. The first 3 episodes dropped last week, and the last 3 episodes dropped this week. But a lot of fans were wondering how this was going to end, right? And, the hidden figure behind the closed door, who is the Red Hood and who is he working for? Sacha Baron Cohen, you guys, has officially been casted as Mephisto in Marvel Studios' Ironheart. We've been wanting this for years. We've been theorizing and talking about, Mephisto since WandaVision 2020, you guys. It's 2025, and it has finally happened. It is really exciting, and the way they introduced his character was brilliant. It was fun. It was intriguing. I wanted more. I was like, I want to learn more about this character. And the reveal to see his full demon form, you guys, was brilliant. The reflection off the spoon, I was like, oh, Marvel, you did it. You did it. I really loved how they handled Mephisto and Ironheart. And it really has me that much more excited for what they have planned for this character moving forward. I'm like, now you gotta introduce Ghost Rider. I mean, Mephisto already confirmed he has other clients he is working with, and that's Ghost Rider. I was like, let's freaking go. I thought it was brilliant. I enjoyed Ironheart as a whole, you guys. I had a fun time with it. I love how it was a very small personal scale story to, Dominique Thorne's, Riri Williams. We got, some backstory on what she was going through and, the anxiety she deals with and the insecurities she's dealing with. I thought it was great. The supporting cast was a lot of fun. The Red Hood was good. I didn't really necessarily have any issues with this. I knew what I was getting myself into. So, I didn't have all the highest, expectations going into this series. But I thought it ended great. Boy, oh boy, I did not think that she would have took his deal. I was like, bro, didn't you just see what it was doing to the Red Hood? And you were just trying to convince him to get away from Mephisto, this demon? I was like, are you a moron? I was like, what is happening here? Oh, and I love the whole, I love the references to Doctor Strange and Dormammu. The one black chick who was like, in the magic shop and her mom, I was like, give me more of that. I loved that whole sequence, and I loved her character. But I loved, like I said, I really enjoyed how this show ended, incorporating the magic into her suit. And I like how they said, when you deal with magic, you also, it takes something from you. I thought that was brilliant. And I loved that rule. I was like, that is awesome. But man, the way she looked at the end when she fought the Red Hood was absolutely stunning. But like I said, I did not expect her to take that deal. But that was her best friend. That was Natalie. And, the show was heavy in themes of loss, absolute loss, and, feeling lonely. And she ultimately wanted Natalie back, So I really, really love that aspect of it all. So her wanting Natalie at the end of the show, wanting her best friend back, I understood. But I was like, boy, did you just make a terrible decision. Where does it now Mephisto has you in his back pocket. you can only imagine what this is going to do to her. And when she hugged Natalie at the end, you saw the red marks approaching and appearing on her body. I was like, oh, it's beginning. It's beginning, dude. But like I said, really liked it. Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto was definitely intimidating, and I cannot wait to see what they do with more of this character in the world of the supernatural, because boy, oh boy, you guys, I was impressed. Moving on to the next topic, you guys. This one was really interesting to me. So, Neil Druckmann steps away from The Last of Us Season 3 to focus on Naughty Dog's future projects. Also, Haley Gross also has announced she is stepping down from The Last of Us Season 3 to focus on upcoming projects from Naughty Dog. It's plain and simple. They were probably let go. Because I feel like if they wanted to step away from Season 3, this would have been announced at the very start of Season 2. But with all the bad creative decisions with what they went with for Season 2 for The Last of Us, it ultimately hurt them. Yeah, I understand they wanted it to, be different than the game, but sometimes when you have the source material and the source material works, it's best to not veer away from the source material. And it ultimately hurt them. I'm pretty sure Neil Druckmann was, one of the main reasons why I had issues with Season 2, and a lot of people had issues with Season 2. Season 2 was such a major drop-off from Season 1. Major drop-off. And the studio saw that, and, they saw the response, they saw the fans' reactions, and we were not happy. You guys, I was trying to cover The Last of Us Season 2 on the channel. It did boo-boo numbers. Or I was looking at other reactors and creators, seeing their numbers from Season 1 being so huge, and seeing their numbers from Season 2 being extremely low. I was like, my God, there was no interest. And I'm pretty sure it happened when Pedro Pascal, when Joel was killed off. And it's unfortunate because I knew what was coming. But a lot of fans loved the character of Joel. And a lot of fans who watched the show didn't play the second game. So they didn't know what to expect. So I knew what was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. So them leaving Season 3, you guys, is absolutely insanity to me. I was like, holy shit, this is pretty big. Craig Mazin addresses The Last of Us Season 3 following the departure of the game creators. I'll continue to work with our brilliant cast and crew to deliver the show our audience has come to expect. Right there alone, to come to expect. That means I am going to deliver everything that we should have delivered in the second season, but we will be delivering in the third season. We won't change much. We are so grateful to Neil and Haley for entrusting the story, the incredible story of The Last of Us Part 2 to us. And we're just as grateful to the millions of people around the world who tune in. So Craig Mazin is pretty much going to be the sole writer of Season 3. But what's kind of frustrating to me is how they haven't even written Season 3 yet. I was like, how is this Season 3 not even written yet? Are you telling me Season 3 won't appear, probably drop a max to 2028? Because if they're writing the script, let's say they probably won't, well, the script probably won't be finished until the end of the year or the start of 2026. They probably won't start shooting till summer of 2026. What's going on? Like, I would have had all of these scripts written and complete, so there is not such a massive gap. And now that you're going to be telling, Ellie's story, Abby's story in Season 3, like, that should have been the priority. But like I said, maybe Craig Mazin wasn't happy with Season 2's writing, and he understood that, and he saw it. And the higher reps and, execs saw that, and they saw the numbers come in and people's reactions. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't think that, The Last of Us Season 2 is going to win any awards this year. I don't know what the numbers were and the viewership was, but, I know a lot of people, including myself, who we genuinely was not happy. My brother watched, I think, a couple of episodes, and he was checked out. He was like, absolutely not. I think it was the episode my brother was like, where she was like, how could it be a dad? My brother was checked out after that. He was like, done. Because it's such a departure of the character of Ellie. Like, that's totally not Ellie in the game, dude. If you played the game, Ellie was pissed off. She's like, you're a burden to me. What are you doing? I'm on my mission. I'm going after her. And now you're here pregnant. Now I got to watch and look after you. Like, I understood it, man. But crazy stuff. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about today's topics. A lot of studios skipping on Comic-Con this year. What do you guys think the future is for Comic-Con moving forward? What do you think about the game creators? like Neil Druckmann leaving The Last of Us Season 3? And what do you think about the massive reveal of Ironheart introducing Mephisto into the MCU? And what did you generally think about Ironheart as a whole? Thoughts and opinions, let me know, you guys, how you feel. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Geek Fandom Media. Peace.